was the spirit detective of the Earth.
Well, I'm sure as hell not gonna let some idiot just like me be the end of the world.
The only thing I hate is only two things. I'll kill them all. Women and kids, sickly old men, until every foot of dirt is a grave. Then I'll stand them on top.
There are many heinous villains to exist across fiction, and anime has more than its fair share of memorable ones. From the old school rogues Frieza, Johan, and Griffith, to the new school antagonists Sukuna, Makima, and Shogo Makishima. However, there is one main villain that doesn't seem to get enough attention. That being the Black Angel, Shinobu Sensui. After the Dark Tournament and the fall of younger Toguro, Yoshihiro Togashi had to continue the story of Yu Yu Hakusho, and so Sensui had a huge hold for following one of the most beloved tournaments in shonen. Yet, he manages to pull it off between his suave manipulation, endless charisma, and pure dominance in battle, as the former spirit detective sought to bring Armageddon onto mankind. So I'll be covering his exploits to prove why he deserves more recognition as one of the best villains to ever be seen in anime. So let's get into the Black Angel of Yu Yu Hakusho. Receiving word from Unkwn that a tunnel to Demon World is being created, which will result in the end of humanity, Yusuke and the others are on the move to go tear it down. So after the group acquires Miroto, their newest recruit to lend a hand, he uses his power to read the minds of everyone nearby, and just so happens to stumble upon an individual whose mind is, well, how shall you say... Yeah, calling this individual's mind misanthropic is putting it lightly, because these thoughts are so traumatizing. Miroto is on the verge of a breakdown, but he manages to single out this unhinged individual, which manages to be the worst decision of his life, cause... straight up knocked unconscious just for spotting this menace, and Sensui has the nerve to call it an introduction. I would hate to see how he greets someone who was invited inside his home, and what makes this worse is that it wasn't even him who fired the shot, but one of his own men. This one was enough for Yusuke, the man that just packed up the girl, to be worried. I must admit, I probably would have ran for my life after that experience, so Miroto is definitely brave for sticking around and relaying his intel to Yusuke's crew. So a few days later, the group discovers Shinobu Sensui is the mastermind behind creating the tunnel to Demon World, and that he was a former spirit detective. Now, this is the part where his initial backstory is explored, but I'll go into it later as it will make a whole lot more sense then. So once everyone is up to speed, from a distance they spot the man of the hour, Sensui. As it turns out, he found out about the dimensional sword that he needs to ensure the strongest demon can cross over via Seaman, aka Matari, only to discard him like trash. I swear, Joker's goons might have better job security than this. So a moment later, Sensui and Yusuke start eyeing each other. So this is the great Sensui. Well, formerly great. I mean, your ass did kind of run out the side of a little trauma. And this is the notorious Yusuke. I'll still offer you my guidance as you come to share my fate. Shove it, you washed up Rambo. Bring it, you sorry ass Sambo.
Round 1. Fight!
So Yusuke goes in thinking he's in his blind spot, but Sensui says, "Get that sorry excuse for a punch out of my face," and sends him back with a single kick. Not impressed, Yusuke tries again, only to be told, "Say hello to my little friend," the dreaded home run kick. Sent him twirling like a ballerina straight into the stop sign. That kick was so violent, it has Kurama glazing Sensui talking about his energy and style are one. If your friends start hyping up your enemy in front of you, consider it foreshadowing into your future misfortune. Not interested in seeing this man flex his powers or endangering his loved ones, Yusuke tries to be clever by moving as if he is Ichigo using Bankai, but clearly he took a page from after his first release, because it goes nowhere.
Huh?
You know, at the start of the arc, Yusuke was bored talking about there was nothing to challenge him after Toguro. Yeah, I bet he ever regrets manifesting that thought and wishes instead for an easy win like in the first movie. With a stage change initiated, the two spirit detectives continue throwing hands, or to be accurate, Yusuke is getting pressed by Sensui, who launches a series of elegant kicks that even got Bruce Lee taking notes. Yusuke manages to catch one of Sensui's legs and was feeling himself thinking it's his time, so he had to be silenced by being reminded of the other leg. Sensui got him feeling that pain as he approaches like the Terminator. Now, Kuwabara tries to pull up, and don't get me wrong, he is a member you always want on the squad, but we all know if the plot does not require him to destroy the stuff, then he probably won't. Cause
that shit is fucking trash, dog.
yeah, whipping out this rinky-dink spirit sword and jumping at tall, dark, and unstoppable as if it's gonna do something is just asking to get handled, and that is exactly what happens as he becomes a victim of reverse jumping. This even has Kurama chiming in to say, his defense is superb. Now, I will call him out for unnecessary glazing, but he does attempt to make up for it by trying to sneak a hit in, but it doesn't work. And instead, you have Sensui jumping out the window like James Bond thinking he's on a magazine cover. But with those glass shards falling and that smirk, he just might be. It's here that Sensui enacts his plan to have his men get the drop on Kuwabara, which results in him getting captured. So he jumps all the way down, hops in the getaway truck, and cause it's 1990, you know he's riding out the city pop music. Clearly fed up with Sensui and that city pop people keep telling about as if it's brand new music, Yusuke fires the good old reliable spirit gun, or well, former reliable, because Sensui pops this cannonball with the energy size equivalent of a needle. He rides off saying, yeah, I'm like that, and so is city pop. Now, without skipping ahead, what do y'all think Yusuke is going to do right now? Go into a depression, realizing he failed Kuwabara just like Ichigo? B. Regroup with the team to plan his get back? C. Chase after Sensui immediately? If you know Yusuke, there's only one option you could have picked from, and that was C. Not only does he go after Sensui, but he does it on a stolen bicycle. Y'all know somebody working on GTA was probably watching this scene, and what makes this even crazier is he actually catches up with Sensui while he is trying to convince Kuwabara to join his Doomsday cult. This has Sensui's henchmen shook as Yusuke's talking about, if you don't pull that truck over, I'll run you and that tired ass city pop off the road now. Being the 5D level strategist that he is, Sensui has Sniper tailing Yusuke and has him destroy the bike, leaving him stranded. And you know Yusuke has got to be thinking to himself, you know, maybe I'm not like that. Maybe I am a fraud. And maybe, just maybe, City Pop is actually good? Several hours later, Team Urameshi makes their way into Sensui's hideout and find him just sitting there, watching this demonic tape without a care in the world as only two of his own crew remain. Now you gotta be thinking, why would anyone follow this madman on his crusade to destroy the world? Well, you can thank the Chapter Black tape for that, because this VHS is filled with the worst atrocities in human history. I'm talking everything from Unit 731 to the Crusades, to the activities of those cupcake connoisseurs, and even those snuffed films that everybody seems to think exist on the dark web. And it all comes packaged with a near 100% success rate of turning anyone who used the tape against mankind, and it's especially effective with those who already don't have the best experiences in life to begin with. With that single tape, Sensui corrupted a skilled doctor into becoming a blood-hungry maniac just to be left in a jail cell, had Mitari ready to off his peers only to try to dispose of him, sent Sniper to his untimely grave, and poor Amanuma. Without even using this cursed tape, this sociopath convinced him to naively go along with his plan for genocide just to have the boy sacrifice to stall for time, and even worse, make a moral argument about how putting a kid in a casket under the pretense of the greater good isn't that far different than purging mankind in the name of peace. And the cherry on top is that instead of shedding a single tear, this madman is watching this blood-ridden tape as if it's Godzilla vs. King Kong for the 20th time. And while we're on the subject, does anyone remember those movies and videos that were completely disturbing, yet made you more really curious just to look into them thinking it couldn't be that bad? Like Solo, Martyrs, Faces of Death, those live leak videos people would try to ruin your day with, cuties, daisies. Yeah, you get the point. Anyway, after Kurama treated Gourmet, or should I say Elder Toguro, to the first version of the Izanami for eating up Naruto, and what happened to Amanuma, Itsuki, aka Sensui's faithful tier 3 sub, separates Yusuke from the others so that unlike the shows airing on Toonami, this fight can be finished to its conclusion. Sensui starts monologuing about how humans are so corrupt they'll justify their actions unlike demons, and that Yusuke will become just like him, but you know this man was not trying to hear a word of it, so he goes in, and to Yusuke's credit, he actually manages to land a hit in. And this has Yusuke feeling himself. talking about, my life for the longest time was nothing but borrowed time, and you don't see me taking it out on the world. So go shove that nihilism 101 up your ass, and let's get to boxing.
Fight!
Yusuke goes in launching a series of punches, but it doesn't work. Essentially blocks and weaves every single one with finesse. He even got the block animation changing color, and does it with a single hand, making him look like he just started karate class today. Sensui winds up doing a pump fake with the energy ball, leaving Yusuke wide open to catch the dreaded home run kick.
Home run!
Oh Yusuke, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. With punches like that, you'll be hung on the news. Yusuke calls Sensui a liar, so he comes up with a high IQ plan to create a smoke screen and distract him with a falling rock, leaving this man wide open to give him that Mike Tyson treatment.
All you can.
Watching this for the first time had me on my seat thinking the good guys actually won, but this was just the beginning. Sensui walks out the water, and we get a look of all the scars he has. Now, you'll reasonably assume that he got these from being in so many fights, but listen to the man himself.
These wounds aren't from enemies. No one's ever hurt me that bad. I gave myself these scars as part of my training.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I gave these scars as part of my training. Oh nah, what kind of level 10 masochism are you on to be doing stuff like this? Although I will say this one display of BDSM was better than that poor 9.5 weeks Twilight ripoff 50 Shades of Grey was with those sorry actors. But hey, at least some of them moved on to better things. Or maybe not.
That shit is a 2-pack of ass.
So Sensui whips out a set of energy blasts, and you gotta be thinking that just like in Dragon Ball, it does next to no damage. You be wrong, because when this man kicks the barrage of energy balls that he is trying out for a spot on Blue Lock, it actually works. Look at poor Yusuke, barely able to fend them off as he is sent flying into the air, and Peep Sensui in the background coming in to sneak a hit. Yusuke tries to use a reversal, but he just says, here's one of my own. Just look at that expression. You know Koema is recording this fight and is never going to let him live this one down. With that, Sensui kicks his sorry ass onto the ground as the rest of the energy blasts do their job. And Sensui is just like, if you like serving number one, then have another. Yet again, Yusuke is getting thrashed, and I'm just like, please don't tell me he's gonna get off by an attack that's meant for fodder enemies, but he gets up, which makes sense we monologue about how he's not used to getting jumped, and that his pathetic spirit energy can barely feel blast compared to his. Not the type to take disrespect, Yusuke charges him and realizes ki blasts aren't like that, and goes in trying to press him with a series of punches, and to everyone's surprise, actually showcases a display of why he's one of the best protagonists in all shonen. This man uses his wet shirt to lock Sensui's arm meant for defense in place. Yeah, I bet your arrogant ass wouldn't expect street fighting from the likes of me. Now come here. Got Sensui feeling that pain as he lays the smackdown on him. Look at the light fading from his eyes. And I'm thinking, could it actually be it? But then I realized that this was no ordinary boss fight. Sensui actually pulls out a machine gun from thin air which blasts through Yusuke. And as if that wasn't enough, just listen to what is coming out of his mouth.
You are a worthless bitch ass nigga. Your life literally is as valuable as a summer ant. You serve no purpose in life, you worthless bitch ass nigga.
Yeah, what caused him to go from composed and well-mannered to a sour-mouthed maniac was apparently a different personality. Now y'all are probably thinking, hold up, this man has a gun for an arm and is suffering from DID, just what is going on here? Well, now's as good a time as ever to get into the backstory. At a young age, Sensui was gifted with such immense power that he unintentionally attracted supernatural beings towards him. Luckily, he had the ability to not only sense apparitions and demons, but destroy them. Look at him as a teenager packing up that demon with such efficiency that it puts Danny Phantom to shame. By this time, Sensui developed a black and white ideology which said humans were just and demons were unjust. Touched by the sense of justice and feeling there was no one else suited for the role, Koenma made him a spirit detective. Not long after, Sensui made a name for himself that attracted Isuki, aka his soon-to-be tier 3 sub, towards him. However, still firmly holding on to this rich worldview, Sensui left Isuki battered on the ground and was going to finish the job, yet spared him after he got a laugh from the demon. Not long after, the two become good friends, and Sensui's worldview on demons would slowly loosen up, although he still believed humans were inherently good, while Suki would develop love, or better described as lust, which included wanting to watch the detective sink into depravity. Now, sure, Sensui may have developed some trauma from having demons come after his head since childhood. Sure, he has a partner that can't wait to corrupt him, but is that all it took to set this chosen one off the deep end? No, but the following would be. Just like Yusuke, Sensui was given a job to close a portal that would connect the human and demon worlds together, and with his power, it seemed like an open and shut case, until this man witnessed something he had no business seeing. That something was a display of mankind's darkest side, known as the Feast of Human Vices. Yeah, this ritualistic party was basically a bunch of heinous rich humans torturing the demons they captured for no reason other than to satisfy their sick urges, which doesn't sound too different from the activities of certain real-life individuals. Having spent his entire life viewing demons as a bane on existence and humans as righteous, such a sight was too much to bear. And from above stands one of the hosts of the party, Sakio. And if you were wondering why anyone would engage in such cruelty, hear it from the man himself.
I've been all over the world. You know, I've been everywhere. And the bottom line is, pussy's pussy. It's all the same shit. But this is something you never forget, right?
Yeah, if you aren't a psychologist or philosopher, don't even try to make sense of such barbaric behavior, but with his worldview loosened up thanks to the tier 3 sub, since we tried to make sense of it, and instead the relentless brutality made him snap. This results in him manifesting dissociative identity disorder, which leads to the creation of 6 other personalities. I'll give the first 4 personalities a quick mention since they're not important. Naru, the female personality in charge of Sensui's emotions and does poetry. George, the personality responsible for handling Sensui's weapons. Hitoshi, the personality who is a hardcore environmentalist. Makoto, the personality that handles Sensui's day-to-day life when he's not plotting nefarious acts, which it's fun to think of what villains do on their downtime. Now for the relevant personalities. Minoru, the personality that deals in public speaking, schemes, and manipulation, who converted the other members of the Sensui 7 into joining him and was initially running Yusuke's fade. Kazuya, the most depraved, cynical, and sadistic personality who would pack up a kid and small animal all for a cheap laugh, who handles the most inhumane task. I'll bring up the last personality for later, so Kazuya, being the first new personality to emerge, takes over and butchers every human at that party as if he was trying out for a spot in a Galileo movie. When Asuki shows up, even he is shook, as Sensui just looks at him, smirking with such malice. Yeah, this man is truly lost, and shortly after, he disappeared with a chapter black tape that is good for no one's mental health, and Asuki, the worst friend you could ask for by his side for a good 10 years. Right after the dark tournament, he stumbles upon a near-dead cockroach, aka Elder Toguro, who fills him in on Team Urameshi and divulges Sakio's plan to create a portal to the demon world. With that knowledge, Sensui picks up where the rich sociopath left off to create a tunnel to demon world to make humanity pay for their collective sins. Now that we have an understanding of Sensui, let's get back to the fight. The Kazuya personality starts pressing a batter at Yusuke, and it doesn't help that this tier 3 sub is in the background as his hype man. Ah, such duality of beauty and brutality that only my dearest Sensui could produce, and all while shirtless. My Sensui. And you know he is thinking in his head right now.
Okay, I think I've had my fill of these horrible, stink people things for today.
And thankfully, Kuwabara chimes in.
Get off that nigga dick, bro. What is you doing? What? Nah.
Suki's dick riding is truly unparalleled, which, come to think of it, if he met Sensui during his teen years and he's at least a few decades old, then what does that mean?
FBI, open up!
You know what? I'm not even gonna go there. Anyway, Kazuya isn't pleased with being stared down by Yusuke, so he starts saying,
Your purpose in life is to blow in a dick daily. Your life is nothing. You serve 0 purpose. You should kill yourself now. Let's do you a favor. Let's pick out a rope together.
So he fills the spirit detective full of holes, all while mocking his pain. And as if all this wasn't bad enough, just brace yourself, because he decided to let his inner deviant fly free.
Now come to daddy. Ma, you've got the face of a little angel. Too bad I gotta bust it. Open your mouth and close your eyes.
Ew! Dude! What the fuck?
Forget masochism, Kazuya just broke the sadism meter. Like, what the actual hell is this? You know, chokings, spankings don't do nothing for him. Hell, knife play is at best an appetizer. This psycho lives and breathes on C and C minus the first C. And what makes this worse is he's speaking these zesty ass lines to a damn 14-year-old. That should tell you what type of time this monster is on. If you ever see an individual act anything close to this, don't crawl, don't walk, run. Run for dear life, because if they catch you lacking, understand you'll be packed in the basement or a body bag. And Yusuke was about to wind up the ladder, but luckily Unkwn pulls up to try and toss some sense into this maniac. This gives Yusuke an opening to try and sneak Kazuya, but it don't work, because he gets kicked away, making his signature spirit gun miss its mark while the blood-hungry menace laughs his lungs out. And this forces Unkwn to remove his pacifier. Now I know y'all are thinking there's no way a man who wields a pacifier could be dangerous. Think again, because this pacifier has spirit energy stored for hundreds of years, all meant for the Mafukon, the strongest dispense spell there is. Unkwn gives Sensui fair warnings to either give up or be sealed away with him and the demon portal. So all the personalities take a second to think it over. Their answer is... piss off, daddy's boy. If you ain't trying to get in my dungeon, we ain't trying to hear it. So say goodbye to mankind, and hello to the eclipse. Unkwn is about to fire his Mafukon, but is stopped by Yusuke, who really needs to thank Genkai for giving him the Spirit Wave Orb and the healing perk that comes with it. He tells Kazuya to get lost and grab another personality to run the ones with, but this cycle is like, hold up, I done made you switch cheese, knocked away your spirit gun, and you still wanna act like a dom? Looks like I need to drag you to my dungeon. This horny hellspawn gets laid out by Yusuke with a savage gut punch. Yeah, buddy, just cause you're the second coming of Freddy Krueger don't make you dangerous. Now tell the strongest personality to pull out so when your health bar hits 0, it'll stay that way. And with that demand, the spirit detective gets his wish as Kazuya's twisted ass is retired and the 7th, purest, and original personality of Sensui, known as Shinobu, appears. In a surprisingly gentlemanly fashion, Shinobu walks over to Yusuke and offers him a handshake. So without skipping ahead, what do y'all think is about to happen? A. Yusuke accepts the handshake. B. Yusuke rejects the handshake to talk shit about him. C. Yusuke tries to sneak a hit in. If you know Yusuke, there's 2 options you could have picked from, and that was C. Yusuke tries to take a hit in, but is not only stopped with one hand, but effortlessly flipped to the ground, stomped out, and has his cheek indented with the gun arm. And as if that wasn't disrespectful enough, Shinobu still gets his handshake. Yusuke launches a punch, but Shinobu weaves out the way with such ease. I know the human race is on the line, but I might give up after that display because the level of disrespect inflicted was truly unparalleled. And it doesn't help that Asuki is chiming in with commentary that nobody asked for. Shinobu, your complexity truly makes our insides thrive more than your other sides. Once this is over, hopefully you'll be receptive to me and my massive aching.
Oh my god, bro, is dick riding all you do?
No, I'm
like,
saying
you literally got that nigga dick in your mouth right now. I see it.
And before someone asks if Asuki is a
homosexual,
yes, he is, but they don't change the fact that he's still a tier 3 sub. You don't follow Sensui for years, yet only one of those personalities would even consider your advances, but you still have the biggest hard on for him? You are down horrendous. So once Sensui gets his new arm and clothes, Yusuke starts telling this mental patient to say his prayers, and I'm just like, does he actually have a plan, or is this the part that enjoys running the fake kicking in? Shinobu laughs maniacally as he starts powering up, leaving everyone as a loss as they realize it's not demon or spirit energy. Unkwn realizes that it's the sacred energy. Impossible, illogical, inconceivable. Well, when you learn to live with a mental illness, it can actually come with a few perks, like using my altos to get stronger. That's right, this power is no joke because not only does it put him in the highest weight class of the show, it grants him the ability to steal moves from other shows. Don't believe me? Remember when SpongeBob started attacking Patrick just by thinking of it? Yeah, Sensui takes a page from his fight manual, but makes it crack. Your eyes do not deceive you. He just laid out the spirit detector just by waving the air. That is outrageous. But because Yusuke doesn't know when to quit, he gets up and starts attacking with a barrage of punches, but it don't work. So he tries again with more power in each fist, but it still deals no damage. Look at Sensui laughing at Yusuke's sorry ass. Yusuke thought he could try again, but Shinobu stops him and is like, I apologize for how my other personalities have treated you. Here's some aftercare. Well, I would hate to see what he calls punishment, because this is another display of true villainry. But Yusuke, no matter what, must always sense some disrespect, so he chucks a shoe at Sensui and then starts talking shit. Blah blah, humans are terrible. Blah blah, humans are dumb enough to buy fart jars. Quit monologuing like a wannabe philosopher and get it over with, pussy. but he has enough. So Yusuke and Kurama get flung to the wall with a shred of his aura, and then Sensui starts monologuing again. Oh Yusuke, plants, animals, the sea, I adore them all. Everything, but you vile humans. Finally realizing this man is a lost cause, Kurama seizes his chance to fire the Mafukan, which takes the form of an angry Kamehameha and starts the job of sealing this head case away. The attack is actually working as Sensui appears to be struggling, but I just can't believe this. This man overpowers the Mafukan, sending it flying deep from the cave into the air, which leaves the Prince of Spirit World utterly helpless. Sensui attributes this to the seal being intended for demon energy, but there's another more disturbing reason which highlights his high IQ. You see, Amanuma's death didn't just serve the purpose of stalling for time and demoralizing Team Urameshi.
No!
His passing was meant to make Kurama feel guilty and waste most of his energy bringing him back to life to make sure Sensui could resist the Mafukan. That is a true display of insidious intelligence, but shame on you, Mr. Prince, for not prioritizing the world. Don't get me wrong, his death was unfortunate, but considering the stakes, sometimes even the youth are expendable. But we are where we are, with Sensui running strong and Kurama on his knees pleading to only take him and no one else. But Yusuke shuts that down and decides that while this may be the end, he will let everyone know he won't go outside. Because he powers up one last time to run the fade, throwing everything he has left, but
That don't work. There's no way out of this. You're done.
Sensui stops messing around and starts beating the life out of the spirit detective. Just look at that punch to the ribs and that devious two-piece combo. Dear God. Such a sight is too much for Kuwabara to bear, so he finally decides to be useful by controlling his cheek and toe and cuts through Yusuke's demon, freeing them all to lend Yusuke a hand, but unfortunately it doesn't come soon enough. You're a Meshi? What a shame, Yusuke. What a shame. That's right, Yusuke, after getting a second chance from a run-in with Truck-kun and fighting various demons, has met his end by a lone human. Not only that, but the tone to Demon World is complete, meaning the end is nigh. While Sensui is a bit torn up over this, we all know he's feeling himself. After all, he just gained the title of protagonist killer and is about to see his goal come true. But we all know, if you are feeling yourself even a little, haters will chase you to the depths of hell to shut you down. And that's what happens, because the rest of Team Urameshi has received the fallen ally Amp. Kurama takes on the appearance of his original form, Yoko Kurama. He whips out the Dragon of the Darkest Flame. Kuwabara goes out of his way to cut the barrier keeping the strongest demons away from Earth, just to put the madman in a casket. That's the ride or die crew you want around at all times. And in any other anime, this will lead to Sensui getting put 6 feet under. But Yu Yu Hakusho is not that kind of anime. Because once these four make their way to Demon World, as if it wasn't broken enough, Sensui powers up creating a new suit of armor to increase his defense.
That shit is fucking trash, dog.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that design is not it. Like he had Kai personally design his fit or something. But hey, that's okay, because he is about function over form. Mock me while you can, because you are going to bear witness to the dreaded art of reverse jumping. Hiei is the first to charge in with a flurry of punches, but Sensui eats it with ease and says get out of here with a nasty kick. Kuwabara and Kurama try to attack him at once, but this man slides out the way like Michael Jackson, and then he takes a page out of Aang's playbook. He generates a tornado that slices up Kurama, and then sends Kuwabara to the ground with a single kick. Hiei uses his instant transmission to try to catch Sensui lacking and slice him to pieces, but we all know if someone has this look, don't waste your time, because the move won't work. I mean, this expression says it all.
What the fuck is we doing?
Hiei gets told to join the others on the ground, but the reverse jumping ain't over yet, because Team Urameshi charges in again using their signature moves. Sensui says hello and goodbye to Kuwabara with a mean two-piece combo. Then Kurama tries to sneak him with the rose whip, but Sensui in his head is like, I looked the other way on account of your glazing, but do you really think I'm gonna let you use a whip on a light-skinned brother like me again? So he catches the weapon and tells Kurama, don't ever try that again, with a vile kick to the gut. Sensui puts his BSM practice to use and reels Hiei in close with the whip so he can give him a nasty backside finisher. And it looks like everyone is finished. Hiei is telling Sensui to get on with it. Kurama is jerking him off about his strength for the third time. Like, come on Kurama, the one you're supposed to be writing is Hiei like in those fanfiction stories. You're a Meshi, I really ain't shit about you. We're trying to take over my fight? Yes you are, so get back and let the main character take the stage. Huh? And in the distance, is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's a fully revived Yusuke running on a freshly evolved Boo. And this just leaves Sensui at a loss. Unbelievable. unthinkable unless it's plot armor. That's right, due to plot control. The dross of demon blood that have always been in Yusuke. When he died this time around, due to the power he gained over his various fights, it caused an awakening, making the foul-mouthed spirit detector return as a human-demon hybrid. Yo, Sensui, it's time for my get back, you 69 god. Quit talking, you sorry-ass fraud, before I expose you again in front of your squad. Spare me, you weak-ass comparator, you certified predator.
Round 3. Fight!
So these two start trading fists, and you knew from the light show this was going to be a classic. Sensui lands a hard jab, sending him flying, but Yusuke avoids the follow-up and catches this man lacking with the spirit gun. Or rather, he should have caught him lacking, because he misses and instead blows up the mountain. Turns out the demon energy is currently making Yusuke's accuracy go down by 20 points. Refusing to be caught off guard again, Sensui commits to complete offense with a much more pleasing armor to look at. He connects not one, but 2 punches, sending Yusuke flying before proceeding to continue the offensive. Just look at those brutal attacks as they warp the environment. And in the middle of this, Sensui is chatting it up with his other personalities, which only serve to hide just how broken he is on the inside. Although, take note of the line, it's already too late. This is what we call foreshadowing, because he ain't the only one having an inner dialogue right now. Yusuke is having one, but not with an altar. No, he's having a chat with his demon ancestor Ryzen, who tells him, so Ryzen possesses Yusuke, making him undergo a demonic transformation, and I'm not gonna lie, the Lost Laureate don't got nothing on this. This is basically Yusuke's version of Super Saiyan 3. Sensui looks giddy and raring to go, but the possessed Yusuke is like,
You think you are built for this? It's time you are reminded of your place, you lowly human.
yeah, if you think I'm calling this round 4, you're wrong, because this isn't a fight, but an execution. Yusuke sends Sensui flying with a single punch and then kicks him away like a soccer ball, only to jump on this man and stomp on him multiple times. If you are wondering how Sensui is getting handled with ease, keep in mind Ryzen is not only one of the 3 demon kings, but at his peak is the strongest character in the whole show. So him taking over Yusuke's body is basically GG. That elegant blocking you saw earlier is useless, and if that wasn't devastating enough, once this man is on the pillar, Yusuke lays arguably the nastiest 21st piece combo I've ever seen. Got Sensui feeling that pain as the pillar crumbles. That beating was so vile, Team Your Mesh, you can't help but cheer on, just like when Not Like is dropped, while Suki is thinking to himself right now. When the dust settles, possessed Yusuke is holding Sensui up just like Simba.
You thought you could beat me. You thought you could beat Togash's writing. You thought you could beat Deus Machina. Don't make me laugh, trash-ass human.
Sensui gets chucked away as possessed Yusuke charges up the finishing blow. The real Yusuke finally comes to his senses, but not fast enough, because the spirit gun, or should I say demon gun mega, launches and delivers the final blow. Yusuke runs over to find the fallen spirit detective at the brink of death. Yusuke, I never expected you to fight so viciously. That wasn't me. Such brutality and ferocity that I couldn't defend against. Like I said, that wasn't me but somebody else. That beating was so bad my other altars vanished, making me, Shinobu, my true self again. Do you understand the words that are coming out my mouth? I was possessed. It wasn't me. It doesn't count. So let's run it back one more time so there's no debate over who wins. Kurama, do something! The CTE must be kicking in, because Yusuke, you just got voted from multiple episodes, and now you want to run it back again without Ryzen's help? Oh nah, just take your win. However, since their MP bars are too low, nothing can be done. So Sensui explains his real reason for creating the portal. It wasn't to cause Armageddon, but to come over to Demon World so he can die at the hands of a demon, to make amends for all the ones who he killed over the years and pay off his guilt. Yusuke, you are the justice that I couldn't find. Thank you for helping me to understand myself. Thank you, and goodbye. And in one last affront to Spirit World, Yusuke takes Sensui's body and soul away into the void, completely giving a middle finger to the concept of moral judgment. And just like that, Shinobu Sensui, the former spirit detective, is no more. What more can be said? Sensui, and by extension the Chapter Black arc, is easily top tier, especially considering Togashi didn't want to continue writing the story anymore. Yu Yu Hakusho is my second favorite anime of all time, and certainly one of the most influential as its themes are still relevant to this day. The likes of Jujutsu Kaisen, and especially Bleach regarding a certain arc, took notes from the series, so if you enjoyed it, go check out the anime or manga. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow me on my TikTok and Instagram. Thank you for watching, and until next time, take care. Cue the outro.
Are we even worth protecting? We should all die.
Because the canker keeps growing and consuming you, the evil you're chasing becomes who you are.
And you think you're better than those people?
That's what he showed me! It's
human nature to lie and bully and hurt people.
Mankind deserves to go. That's what they've shown me.
The capacity for evil is but one ingredient in the human soul.
No, that's all a big lie.
I don't want to die.
With arrogance and insecurity, they have destroyed their most sacred gifts, their world, and their brothers. At long last, their day of judgment has come.
Wait.
And if all the crap in my life hasn't screwed me up yet, then neither will this. And neither will you.
Maybe I've been wrong.
It's never too late to reform one's ways. Trust me.
Yusuke!